So I didn't want to wait and actually find out about what it's going to do with my body. I decided to take an action and actually have a pure water in my home.
Love is in the air, everywhere I look around. Love is in the air, every
Hey everybody! As you understood from the caption, this video will be about the distiller. Yes, I know all the myths and all the theories about why not and why yes and what it does. I will tell you some research that actually made me to decide why yes. First of all, many of you probably have heard about Bragg's vinegar, additives to the food and seasonings, and most of all, a lot of you heard about Paul Bragg's books about nutrition, about juicing, about fasting, about water fasting, and in particular, the water and salt. All of us know whenever you pour the water out of the sink, it tastes funky. In some places better than the others. So I didn't want to wait and actually find out about what it's going to do with my body. I decided to take an action and actually have a pure water in my home. Imagine 365-gallon bottles of every person in the trash, in the ocean. Not all of them get recycled, just so you know. And if it does, it's upcycled. So it's better to start at the refuse, and then reduce, reuse, recycle, etc. So refuse first. Refuse things you don't need. You don't need to buy gallons of water. So let me just go a bit deep into research. Some people are talking about depletion of the minerals, and this is one of the common myths you hear about it. Here's the thing. If you really think you like minerals, drinking tap water would not replenish you. Let's be real. The proper way to get minerals is through the proper food, first of all. Here's one nice YouTube video called Distilled Water vs Tap Water vs Bottled Water. You have to watch that documentary. It will really turn you on to thinking twice about what are you putting in your body. You have to remember, you are here in this world and you only have right now. You have to treat yourself as somebody you really love and put things that are the best for you. So just make sure you have really good quality of water. It has a heating element that heats up the water. What it do is processes the water, give you the condensation, which would be the distilled water. It basically has nothing. It's like zeroed out. The benefits I would list below and in my blog, so if you would like to read, hop on and read. I got it as a gift, which was a really wonderful, nice surprise from my coworkers and friends. I would have bought it myself probably a bit later, but I'm really happy that I got it now. You can get it online. I've seen the cheapest versions on Amazon. I have the one that's stainless steel and with a glass pitcher to accumulate the water, but there are different other models. I specifically liked this model, but there are different similar ones, so just do your own research. Be sure to check the quality of the manufacturer and the reviews. The product on Amazon has almost 5 stars, which is pretty good out of almost like 700 people. Why I would recommend to go through Amazon because you have a return policy. I feel if I'm paying for something that is over $200, I would want to make sure that I already have it back. And on that note, I have to notice about the return on investment, because this unit is rated about 580 watt, which means the gallon of your water will cost about 35 cents. If you would make a gallon of water every day, at the end of the year, you would pay about $120. If you would buy 1 gallon of water that would cost you $1 at the store, you would pay $365. 120 plus 200 something, it will be about the same price. The return on investment is a year. It's a year for you to make your money back from the plastic bottles. But, and a good point that you don't need no wasteless plastic gallon bottles going in the landfills. What I saw a lot is people had problems with assembling it, and there was really nothing hard about it. Step by step on pictures, just see what to do, and it's really easy to connect. The hardest part was to assemble this distiller board, which I think the manufacturer can make it a bit easier. Those things you have to hook on yourself, and this clip-on kind of screw-on handle, it comes all separate, so you have to actually assemble it. The pros that I have to point out: it's pretty small for one family, so it doesn't take a lot of space in the kitchen, and it's also really easy to use and clean if you do it right. On the cons that most people point out, and me too, is it makes noise, but it doesn't make more noise than like a laundry washer or a dryer or dishwasher. To avoid it, you can put it out like me in a Florida room, or you can leave it on the balcony, or put it in the laundry room, where you can close the door and have as little noise as possible. Yes, it is a timely process, so it takes about 5.5 hours to actually distill a gallon. There are replacements you need to buy. It's fairly small, just a charcoal replacement. Some people even use like a coffee filter type of a charcoal filter. If you are looking for some tips on how to do it better, how to make it more organized and productive and take less of your time as possible, there are a few tips for you. First, to pour the hot or warm water in it already would make the process a lot faster. My biggest tip so far is to put the clean water in a distiller. The distiller has to be cleaned out itself too. And I have been using for years zero water filter. It has 5-stage filtering process. It's simple to use and it's fast. So what I do is I put in a distiller already filtered water to save time on cleaning and to have less deposits in the distiller already. I have heard some people using a similar method I do, is to distill water first and then put it through the zero water filter. It works both ways. Try it for yourself. I would recommend both. My wonderful zero water filter I have been using for a few years. That's the little thing it came with. It's a TDS meter. TDS means total dissolved solids. Zero water filter leaves my water clean from 000 to 001, and then the usual command when it gets to 006 it's time to change it. Comparably, my tap water showing 186, and the Brita filter my friend was using showing 160. So yeah, after pouring tap water in the distiller, it showed 001, so it wasn't completely clean. After pouring the water from the zero filter into my distiller, it showed 0. One good tip I've heard is to put a timer on 5 hours after you run the distiller. So when it's about like 1 inch of the water left on the bottom, you stop it, because when you let it burn, the heater element on the bottom burns the metal and it leaves like a little dots that are really hard to clean. Some people would also put vinegar in there. Some people using soap and water. Just make sure you can clean it and dry it thoroughly. I just used a towel. That's it. And it helped. Perfectly fine. Some bad things I found about people talking about it is, first of all, them drinking water, they start having eczema and some type of skin rashes. And after excluding the food allergies, I found out that the distiller had a high level of nickel, which is pretty cancerogenic. So I've never heard anybody else saying about this, so I just assumed it was an exception. There are some other people who was talking about the strong metallic taste. Most of them recommended to run a distiller a couple times and then also put the 2 charcoal filters in the actual dispenser for you to have a better tasting water. Several people did tests on seeing what are the results of the water, and most of us are pretty decent. It does take out the fluoride, so that's a nice thing. I had the reviews about having a funky smell or anything to that nature, feeling and tasting the metallic and plastic taste. I have not had any of that. Not to mention, I have not had any problem with the motor and any broken or cracked pieces, so far it's good. One design sleeve that I found would be the Karafi pitcher that came with it. This little boy, because the opening is pretty small. So when you pour it, especially when the pitcher is full, it is pretty hefty. It's a gallon and it's glass, which is pretty thin. It's hard to hold, so you have to hold it with both arms, and you have to slowly pour it, otherwise it just comes from the sides. One uncomfortable thing I noticed is for you to turn off the machine, you have to unplug it. That kind of seemed weird. I think it will be good for manufacturer to find out the way to actually turn off the machine manually instead of having to unplug it and plug it back in every time. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed. I really enjoy making this video for you, and I hope you really enjoy the good tasting water in your house. If you have any questions, leave it in the comments below. And also I will leave all the information I found so far down in the caption. I've spent hours in research for you to actually have all the information you would need to find out the best information about distilled water. Why is it good? Why is it bad? How can you implement it in your life? And what can you use it for? Please take a look if you're interested. Bye guys, I love you, and I will see you in the next video.